Sup peeps, my name is Proto and today we're going to be taking a look at what ProtoAMP can do to make Black Ops 3 an awesome PC game upon launch, whilst also giving you a channel update. So let's get straight into it. For the complaints, I know they've already said they're working on graphics and optimizations, but to me the game seems at this stage of the beta poorly optimized, making it difficult to run for lower end cards. That is for me at least. And it seems to have some sort of memory leak as well, like the VRAM usage will be somewhat stable, then occasionally spike and at the end keep slowly rising until the game would crash. Now, I am only using a 2GB video card, but I have heard that some people say that it happens to them with their 980s at 1080p, where it would just go beyond 4 gigs and eventually cause the game to crash. Speaking of crashes, I actually haven't had too many of them. Often it'll be text related and loading errors, but 2 or 3 times out of 10 when I leave the game it just freezes and stops responding, to the point where I have to go to the task manager and manually kill the application because it's clearly crashed, but the window still hasn't closed. Another problem for me seems to be the slight but obvious mouse input lag. Being Call of Duty, it is a twitch shooter game, and the small amount of lag was enough to throw me off target. Not to mention that by default, mouse acceleration and mouse filtering is enabled. So whilst everyone knows what mouse acceleration is, mouse filtering basically smooths out the movement, and it's similar to mouse prediction where it uses the last few frames to calculate where the mouse wants to be. Now in games like this and being a shooter, I really don't get why it's an option, since for me and the majority of people it massively distorts your aim. Also, I do get massive frame drops when engaging in gunfights head on, and whilst it makes sense that it's somewhat more taxed on the GPU, it's still an optimization issue, which I'm sure will get fixed, but I'm just going to throw it in there. So onto the balancing aspects of the game. I'm not going to lie, for the most part the game is extremely well balanced, like seriously, but I do think that some things need to be tweaked from what I've played. So in terms of guns, I can only really talk about one in particular, and that's the Haymaker 12 shotgun. This is literally a pea shooter. I get it, it's fully auto and has a high fire rate, but it just seems to fire marshmallows. And this means that while shotguns aren't neglected, in fact they're actually really powerful, the Haymaker just doesn't deal enough damage, range, or even the pellet spread is too large. Even though based on what I've said the stats show otherwise, but take it in game and it's a completely different story. So other than that, the primary weapons are extremely well balanced because unlike the other CODs where one gun would dominate, it seems that quirks make these guns feel different and rewarding. For the equipment balancing, nades are too powerful, just full stop. I'm not so much talking about the damage but more of their effective range. I'm looking at the frag in particular. For the tactical, I think the concussion and the black hat is too strong, and that's not because I find them annoying, it's just that whilst concussions are definitely much more worthwhile to run than they've ever been, the stun is extremely long, and as for the black hat, I like the idea of something to counter score streaks. I just don't think that some camper at the back of the map with all the time in the world should be able to hack my Wraith. It just doesn't make sense. Instead I would put much more emphasis on launchers, but hey. Now if I was in the dev team, I'd probably tweak the black hat to make it so that it destroys the high end score streaks, as opposed to hacking them. As we get onto the specialists, it's clear that some are better than others. On console, the way the Annihilator is balanced is by reducing aim assist if any, and on PC there isn't any aim assist full stop, making Seraph the go-to one if you've unlocked it. I mean, compared to the Sparrow Bow or the Tempest Energy Rifle, they both have to charge up. Yeah, sure they both have an area of effect, but seriously, the Annihilator is so OP. On PC you don't even have much of a choice other than to increase the weapon sway or increase the time it takes to pull the trigger again. As for another one which I think is a bit too powerful, it's Rejack, and don't even get me started on that. The smoke has a huge area of effect and it's really easy for people to revive themselves and kill the other person they were shot by, or even get out of the way. They could balance it by reducing the opacity of the smoke and giving the player a HUD notification when the person they've killed entered Rejack, something like that. Another thing I want to talk about for the beta, at least on the PC version of it, is flinch. On console, it's much easier to stay on target because of aim assist, so basically if you get shot there's hardly any way to recover and win a gunfight on PC. So perhaps reduce the flinch by a tad to make it somewhere between Black Ops 2 and right now the Black Ops 3 beta. One last thing I found was at the end, the kill cam makes some sort of weird unusual sound, as if the gun is shooting farts or whatever, and that needs to be fixed so it sounds normal at least. Also, the leaderboard occasionally glitches at the end where it only displays around 4 total players. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it could just be a simple patch to fix that. So with criticism out of the way, I have to say this game does feel awesome. Titanfall less for sure, but I don't think that's a bad thing. In fact, I'd praise the developers because I think it's something different but familiar. I know I talked a lot about balancing too, but the guns, besides a few I've mentioned, are very well balanced. Same with equipment, attachment, perks for the majority, and even map design has some lineage to it. If you look at the classic Treyarch 3-lane path. Maps do look gorgeous, so huge props on that, even though they're fixing optimizations and graphical settings, and time to kill is great too, perhaps a little bit fast but not even close to Ghosts. Personally, I always find Treyarch games to require much more skill as you actually have to aim and not shoot blindly. But yeah, time to kill is good in my opinion. So if you haven't gathered yet and clicking that dislike button, I'm only suggesting things that ProtoAMP can do before launch to make the game silky smooth. But I will say that when it comes to COD PC ports, which I feel like this game is, it is a port, Treyarch have always done a fantastic job. I've got faith in their development team, and that's what matters. On to the second part of the video, which is like a small channel update. So basically, I'm getting a PC upgrade soon, and you should see some content about that, like parts choice build video, tutorial, and maybe an overclock tutorial on benchmarks, depending on how I'm feeling, etc. Now, I was going to do something special for reaching 500 subs some time ago, but I guess we've way past that. And whilst never too late, I think I'll double up and step up my game when we reach 1,000 subs. Expect either a Q&A or a would you rather, as well as a giveaway. Bam! You guys are awesome, and I can't explain how much all of your guys' support means to me. I wouldn't have got this far without you, so thank you. I also managed to get a partnership with Union for Gamers, more specifically known as Curse. So besides a lot of the perks when joining a network, it also makes me easier to do collabs and expand on this channel, as well as using other music in my videos, which is a nice bonus, I guess. I want to quickly ask, looking at the demographics, a huge portion of my viewers are also based in the US, as well as Canada, Germany, Netherlands and Australia. So if you guys want any builds done in that currency, because prices do differ and fluctuate from country to country, drop a suggestion in the comments below. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and sticking around till the end, and this has been Proto. Adios!